Hey! Hey, you! You alright, lass? You were moaning something fierce for a while there. Feeling the effects of the ether, I reckon. You'll get used to it, though. Don't worry. You there! Halt! What's this all about? Inspection! Men, search the carriage! I'm just an honest peddler, friend. So, don't be too disappointed if you don't find nothing, eh? Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out! Sir, look! Somnus! Honest peddler, was it? Since when do honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? Hidibidibidibid. You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon till the end of your days, unless you can afford the fine. Business as usual. Ah! Ul'dah! Ul'dah! To arms! To arms! Seven hells. Consider this a warning. Now go! All of you! Ooh. Big angry monsters. Whew. That kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. You be careful around them brass blades, lass. Bastards will have the shirt off your back if they fancy it. Like common bandits they are, only less honest. Thank the gods for sending some beastmen to the rescue, eh? Hey, seeing if we got a long ride ahead, you mind keeping me some company till we arrive? Them youngins don't care much for conversations, see? Brent's the name, and Pedlin's Matrade. And judging by your unusual garments, I'd wager you're one of them new adventurers. I knew it! Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? Well, to gain power. I just want all the power. Power? As in, power to do good? Like protecting the weak and fighting for what's right and all that? I thought that's what you meant. Well, adventurers do get up to a lot of fighting, that's for sure. You'll never be short of a chance to polish your warcraft in the adventuring business. When you arrive in town, you'd best enroll at the Adventurers Guild. They'll send you right on the path. And it wouldn't hurt joining a guild, either. Ul'dah's home to a few, so if you fancy learning how to fight with a sword, your fists, or even spells, you should think about seeking one out. Just remember, though, there's more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. By the by, is this your first trip to Ul'dah? It is? Well then, let this journeyed itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Ul'dah is ruled by the Sultana in name, but as most folks know, the Syndicate holds all the real power. Them and their monetarist cronies would happily get rid of her grace altogether, but that won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists, and the Royalists are nothing if not loyal. These factions have long fought over power, throwing the weight of their wealth against each other, and they show no sign of stopping. Of course, the Lizard Men, that's the Ul'dah, couldn't care less about Ul'dah politics. They have their own interests, see, and they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. They say war is a gift to peddlers, need breed and profit, and though it shames me to say it, I'm inclined to agree. At long last, behold Ul'dah, jewel of Thanalan, where folk turned sand into gold.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises, a solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance, her name, Ul'dah. Even with the coming of the 7th Umbral Era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Ul'dah maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
And here's where we part ways, lass. I'm off to the markets to deliver my wares, then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for putting up with me prattle. You never did tell me your name, though. But here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square. How can you brag you won't know my name?
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
Oi, Venture! Over here! Aye, I mean you. Fresh off the carriage by any chance? Eh? How can I tell? Name's Women, and my business is knowing every bugger else's. Now then, what if I was to offer you some invaluable advice by way of welcome to our fair city? Free of charge, even. Just this once, like. Welcome to Ul'dah, the shining beacon of prosperity rising from the deserts of Thanalan. Please select the control scheme you wish to use. Mouse and keyboard, please. Follow the instructions, yes, I know. Alright. I'm gonna pause the video briefly, get everything configured the way I like it. I'll meet you back here in what will be a few seconds for you. Okay, and I'm back. A few seconds for you, about half an hour for me. I got everything in order. I copied my UI from my other characters. I have some basic abilities set up on my hotbar, almost none of which I have unlocked yet. And there's a lot more that are not on this hotbar that I took off just to declutter, because it's going to be a long, long time before I get to a lot of those abilities. These are things that we'll be encountering between levels 1 and 35 or so, and it's just nice to have them already in place. A few of them I'll shift around as I get other ones to fill in spots. But, yeah, these are the basic abilities I'm going to be using for the next 2 episodes, at the very least. Potions and food that I don't have access to yet, but they'll go here when I do. This handy little macro will clear the chat, and I'm going to do my best to try and just retain privacy in these videos. I've made it so people can't send me whispers, and I'm not going to be joining a guild or anything in this playthrough. I want to basically treat this like a story mode playthrough. It's not about the social interaction. In dungeons, I'll cover up the party chat so that I can still benefit from it, but I won't be betraying the privacy of other people whose permission I don't have. That's the basic gist of it. So yeah, we can actually continue the story. Welcome to Final Fantasy XIV, by the way. I know I said it before, but this is a massive, impressive game with a really good story, and I'm really excited to play it on camera. I'm a big fan. We'll be doing the main story mostly, and what I consider to be important side quests. We won't be doing every quest. We won't be clearing every single dungeon, but I probably will go through most of them. And we're generally just going to try and get you to see the whole story through this perspective of this character. As efficiently as possible, within reason. We're gonna have fun. It's not gonna be all serious business, but this is a story playthrough, so let's go see some story. What you got for me, women? Initiating quests. I know that. Is there a way to turn off tutorials, actually? I kind of already know them. Would that be in UI settings? Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Oh, display pop-up help. There we go. That's what I wanted. Oh, that does not do anything. Wonderful. Alright, well, I don't know what it is that I turned off, so I'm just gonna turn it back on. I know how to do a quest, man. Okay, well, that was a fail. Ha ha ha. Whatever. Oh, active help windows. There it is. That's what I want to avoid. I don't need controls information. To be recognized as an adventurer in the city-state of Ul'dah, you must register yourself with the Adventurers Guild. We're also going to be reading quest text. We're going to be reading what NPCs have to say in between the quests. We're really going to try and wring every little bit of story we can out of this, because it's a really deep world. "'Tis plain to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you're certain to get mugged or worse, and I don't want that on my conscience. So before you do anything else, you'll want to head over to the quicksand and speak with Momodi. She's the master of the Adventurers Guild and can set you on the right path." Just take those steps over yonder and pass through the double doors. You'll find her inside. And that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with the adventure and adventurer. You have begun a quest. Use the duty list to help you complete your task. Yay! I have a little button here that turns the duty list on and off. Sometimes it gets in the way. Alright. I'm excited to be here doing this. So, this is the Adventurers Guild, / the Inn. It's the quicksand. On certain servers, a lot of RP happens here, but not on this one. Just gonna kind of serve as our base of operations for the first 15 levels or so. Why, hello there! Who might you be? If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you've come to the right place. Name's Momoti, and I own this fine establishment, if it please you. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah, so you might say that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you that it is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself out in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like our conflict with the Ul'dah, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for nigh on forever now. Then there's the Garlean Empire. None can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all, there's worry. Worry and a lingering feeling of loss. And little wonder, it's scarce been 5 years since the Lesser Moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an 8th hell. So much was lost in the blink of an eye. 'Twas like the end of the world had come at last. But then things began to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next. Some of them 2 or 3. You'd think people remember something like that, but the fact is they don't. Nobody does. There's one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollections of those brave heroes are just as jumbled as those of the Calamity itself. Whenever we try to call their faces to mind, it's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. I bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. But even though we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten, and so we'll call them the Warriors of Light. And they'll stand forever as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is that you lend a helping hand and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. Alright then, a promise is a promise now. I'm counting on your help to put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering like the old days. And a happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand, too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name in the register, neat as you can. Curious Shay. Won't make that a charming name. Just rolls off the tongue, it does. Alright, Miss Shay. On behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please, sir, be merciful. 12 is my witness. I swear to you, I'll bring you your money. In the East, it's said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. Be grateful you were given a 4th chance to offend. You two, attend to this scum. No, please, mercy! Well, ain't that a sorry sight? Nor an uncommon one, if I'm honest. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, I doubt you'll end up like him. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, alright? course, I do enjoy hearing a lady muse on the many manhoods of her acquaintance from time to time. Any road. Welcome to Ul'dah, Kyria. Take a moment to catch your breath, and I'll teach you a little about our fair city. Yay! I love Momodi. This concludes the introductory game tutorial. You've taken the first step as an adventurer in the city of Ul'dah, listened well to the wisdom of Momodi, then go forth and discover the incredible adventures that await you. No, that's not a typo. Momodi. All the Lalafell have this naming convention. Or maybe it's only half of them? I'm not actually sure what the lore is. Where the last name is the last two syllables of the first name repeated. It's adorable. Alright, so poor dude getting murdered right over here that disappeared. As you may have gathered from that little bit of exposition, this is not the beginning of the story. Everybody knows about the original 1.0 version of this game. But the quick summary is, so we had the game, and it had the world, and it was pretty much like this world, but different, just in terms of geography. All the zones looked a little different and felt a little different, but it was pretty much the same world. And they needed to end that game to re-release it as this game, which is an updated version, a very much more modernized version. And the story involved there were two moons in the sky. There's only one now. The red moon crashed down, opened up, and Bahamut, a giant dragon god, who, if you've played Final Fantasy before, you should be familiar with, basically came out and torched half the continent. And that was 5 years ago. A lot of things have regrown. There's not too much damage left from it, but you'll see it here and there as we adventure. And nobody quite knows how it was resolved. All the NPCs seem to have a pretty foggy memory of how that actually went down. All anyone knows is there was a big fight, the Garlean Empire called down Bahamut from the moon, and something happened, and then Bahamut was gone. And everything was okay, except for the things that weren't. The end. Close to home, Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Before you go charging off to find your fortune, I have a few basic tasks I'd like you to perform so as to help you get to know the place. First of all, I want you to visit the Aetheryte Plaza. To get there, head west from here till you reach the Emerald Avenue, then look north. You should see a giant floating crystal called an Aetheryte. If it weren't for Aetherites, traveling around Eorzea would be a damn sight more troublesome than it is. Of course, you still need to attune with them before you can use them, so be sure to do that with the one in the plaza. You ever attuned with an Aetherite before, Kyria? If not, just lay your hand on the thing and you'll see what I mean. When you've done that, I want you to pay a visit to the Gladiators Guild over at the Colosseum. Assuming that sword ain't just for show, you might consider training there. And finally, I want you to visit the Sapphire Avenue Exchange over on the steps of Thal. Goods from all across Eorzea and beyond turn up there every day. You'll have no trouble finding armor, weapons, or anything else a fledgling adventurer like you might need. You might say that everything's for sale here in Ul'dah, as long as you've got the gil. Just make sure you don't pay more than you ought, Kyria. There's plenty as won't scruple to swindle unsuspecting foreigners like yourself, especially if they think no one's looking out for their best interests. Which is why I'm giving you this letter. When you visit the exchange, find a gentleman named Cesaroga and give it to him. He'll be happy to tell you about the markets once he's read it. In short then, visit the Aetheryte Plaza, the Gladiators Guild, and the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Simple. Oh, but before you go, a word of advice. While there's more than a few unsavory characters out there who will try to take advantage of you, there are also some honest-to-goodness problems who you should consider offering a helping hand to. Some with problems. Okay, my brain got lost. A lot of folk are lured to this city by the promise of wealth and power. What many of them fail to realize is that instead of chasing after Gil the moment they get here, they ought to be making friends. Let it be known that you're willing to give as much as you get, and opportunities will come your way. Speaking of which, you should speak with the smith over yonder. Those lads always have some good advice for up-and-coming adventurers. Otherwise, that's about it for me. It's past time you got going. Oh, and let me know when you've finished, will you? That way I won't have to spend my days worrying that you're down in your small clothes without a guild of your name. Hi. Hey, over here. And I think I'm in the actual world now. That was actually an instance. If you've never played a game like this, an instance is a section of the world that's kind of just sectioned off from other players. You're in it by yourself or with whatever group of friends you brought into it with you. It's kind of a private area. A lot of dungeons are instances. Boss fights tend to be in instances. They're used mechanically for a lot of reasons. The idea is that you limit the number of players in an area to make sure the challenge of certain parts of the game is retained, or just for other balance-related reasons. It's also good for server load. Different servers in a game are also technically massive instances when I think about it. Though I'm not sure exactly... Well, that guy just appeared. Basically, an instance is a sectioned-off area. It might look like any other part of the game world, but it's kind of in its own little zone. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll understand as we go. Greetings, I am one of the smiths, a stoker of fires and forger of futures. As a dedicated member of the Adventurers Guild, I have been entrusted with the task of providing assistance to new adventurers. I see you've but recently taken up the Adventurer's mantle. The possibilities stretching out before you must be positively daunting. In the Adventurers Guild, we see new adventurers as fledgling heroes. You are our champions of tomorrow, our nascent stars of limitless potential. My fellow smiths and I are here to provide you with guidance, but the guild also enlists a cadre of veteran adventurers who will be happy to share with you their accumulated wisdom. You can recognize these helpful men and women by their title of mentor. Mentors stand ready to advise you on any aspect of adventuring. They have hundreds of quests under their belt and will likely have a solution for whatever dilemma might be causing you trouble. A mentor may even offer to accompany you on your adventures. I highly recommend that you take advantage of a mentor's aid to enrich your experiences in Eorzea. Pray do not hesitate to ask me if you'd like to know more. New adventurer status is applied to all players who have recently begun their adventures in Eorzea. Among their thriving population, there are seasoned players known as mentors who have taken it upon themselves to assist these new adventurers. You get a bonus if you're in a party with a mentor, and you can join a chat room that we're not going to join because it tends to be fairly toxic. Mentors are a hit-and-miss system. They're pretty cool in concept, but a lot of people just like it because you get a little crown by your name. I've met some good ones, I've met some bad ones. We're not going to be using them because, to be honest, I already know everything about this game that a mentor could possibly help with. But it's just good to know that that system's in the game, for good or ill. In this game, your equipment can take damage. Anyone with the title Mender can repair your equipment. You can also repair your own equipment if you level up your crafting skills, which I do on my other character, but we're not going to do it on this character, so we will be visiting Menders rather often. So, I guess let's head to the 3 destinations that quest wanted us to see. We'll start with the markets, because that's right by here. And we'll work our way down toward the Gladiators Guild. So you can see the different NPCs all selling their different kinds of wares. Does the Potwatch sell what I want? Raisins, no. I'm looking for... No, it's not there. You know what, though? It's better than nothing. We'll take... 20 raisins. That's a good start. Food offers a buff to experience points gained for half an hour after you eat it. It doesn't matter what kind of food, so even the cheapest food in the game will offer the same buff as the most expensive food in the game with regards to experience points. They also offer other buffs to your stats, and those vary greatly depending on how much you've spent on it, more or less. And you are Oh, a newly come adventurer. But of course. Yes, I am Cesaroga. What can I do for you? You would have me teach you the ways of the marketplace? Very wise. As for my fee... What? You expect me to do it for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, when you ask an Ul'dah for a favor, you should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I rather doubt you could afford my services, but the fact that you offer nothing is laughable. Oh, Mistress Momodi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief, and you shall be attentive. You stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, the busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being advantageously situated in relation to the other city-states, Ul'dah's markets have ever served as both a literal and figurative centers of Eorzean commerce. All the great overland trade routes lead to our city, and the majority of maritime trade routes between Vilbrand and Aldenard passes through our ports. Because of this, countless companies and consortia have chosen Ul'dah as their base of operations. They see to it that this marketplace is awash with merchants and moneylenders day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided he has sufficient funds. Surely there's something you seek, adventurer. A deadlier sword, perhaps, or a shinier trinket? Whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. To the north, you'll find merchants peddling armor and accessories, curatives, and crafting materials. And to the south, you'll find weapons, tools, and an assortment of other useful items for sale. Seek out a particular merchant, or browse to your heart's content, but do try to remain aloof should you find something that piques your interest. Decisions made in the heat of a moment are usually unwise, especially where coin is concerned. That is all the complimentary aid you shall have from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Momodi. Now off with you. Quite a character, that Cesaroga. Let's head to the Aetheryte, which is down the road this way. In the meantime... Oh, actually, I think it's over here. I wonder if I can attune to this one. Oh, I can. Good. Within major cities, you can attune to several little Aethernet shards around the city, which will let you teleport to any other Aethernet shard. It just makes for travel around cities very convenient. It's free, it's easy, there's no reason not to do it. So, and now we're back where we started. Yeah, right over here is the gate we came in through at first, and that's the little post where Wimond was standing. I believe he's moved down here now. He offers some quests that we can't take yet. And possibly one that we can? Yeah, looks like he does have one we can, but we won't be taking it, it's just a side quest. What we're more interested in is the Aetheryte right over here on the Emerald Avenue. Northwest is this big thing. Now the large Aetherites, not the little Aethernet shards, but this thing, you can teleport to from anywhere in the world. It costs a little bit of money, but they're not that expensive, all things considered. And it's usually worthwhile compared to walking in almost any situation. Hail, adventurer! Might you have come at the behest of Miss Momodi of the Quicksand? Excellent, which brings us to the matter of attunement fee. That will be 100,000 gil, if you please, madam. Apologies, but I do so relish the opportunity to make that jest. The look on your face was absolutely priceless. But the fact that you were so easily deceived suggests to me that you are unfamiliar with the use of Aetherites. Allow me to explain. These crystalline agglomerations tap into the ethereal energies and are primarily used as a means of travel swiftly from one place to another. Perchance you've heard of return and teleport? Well, these transportation spells make direct use of Aetherites and their connection to the flow of ether. Given that there is an aetherite in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer with a mind to explore the realm will wish to seek them out and explore her, and attune herself to each and every one. But even if you have no intention of wandering beyond the Sultanate's borders, it would be prudent for you to attune yourself to any aetherites you encounter from now on. I pray that you found that informative. Should you wish to learn more about aetherites or transportation magic, I should be happy to answer your questions. Yay! I got return. Return sends you back to the aetherite you've claimed as your home point. Teleport is another spell we'll be getting later that will let you go to any. Okay, that is my home point. I'm also going to register it as my free destination for now, so I can warp back here as often as I like for the beginning of the game. Let's see. Nah. I was hoping he would explain, and the explanation might be in there. But basically, teleporting costs money, despite it being a spell that you can just cast. Lore-wise, what's happening is every time somebody teleports into this plaza, Ninibaru here, or whoever's on duty, charges them a fee for having used the aetherite. This helps maintain the aetherites, which the city-states or towns or whatever... basically, if these things break down, travel to their city breaks down. So if you teleport here and you can't afford the fee, I'm not actually sure what happens. In-game, it just won't let you. They probably send you back, or... I don't know. Send you to jail. Make you do some work to pay off the fine. Who knows? Probably just give you a ticket now that I think about it. That sounds about right. You just get a ticket. So... kind of the Eorzean version of traffic tickets. There's the Pugilists Guild. You go there if you want to eventually train to be a monk. We're going to take the path of the Paladin, which starts with the Gladiators Guild. That's over here. Well, Jeanette seems happy. Alright. Bobo Nima. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tonight's main event, the Prince of Bloodsands and Pride of Ul'dah, the suave southern dandy, Franz the Fair! Gladiators Guild. You're goofy. You're a goofy thing. Alright. Oh, here we are. Welcome to the Gladiators Guild, friend. Tell me, are you new to the thrills of Mortal Kombat? Well, whether you are or not, you're new to us. If you take your place in these hallowed halls, you must be willing and ready to undergo the most rigorous training. You must endure cuts and bruises beyond counting, and like as not, far worse. A daunting prospect, I concede, but there's no other way if you mean to take the Bloodsands one day. And why wouldn't you? The Colosseum is only the most celebrated place of public entertainment in all of Ul'dah. Where else could a poor man amass a fortune so vast as to one day allow him to claim a seat on the Syndicate? There's not an Ul'dah alive who isn't inspired by the rise of the self-made man. And there's no truer embodiment of this than the gladiator who wins riches and fame with his sword. Throughout its long and storied history, the Guild has nurtured countless champions. Our training methods are second to none, and our members ever strive to develop new techniques. If you desire true glory, to fight and triumph amidst the roar of 10,000 voices, then this is where you belong, adventurer. Think of it. Think of your legacy. And if your soul stirs, join us. Lulutsu wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Gladiators Guild. What will it be? Will you rise above the masses and inscribe your name in legend, or will you resign yourself to mediocrity and die in obscurity? The first one, please. A decision you shan't regret. One moment. Make way for Curious Shay. Fresh meat coming through. Now then, before your enrollment can be considered complete, you must present yourself to First Sword Mila. Seek her out and obtain her approval. She is a Highlander. You can tell because she's like a foot taller than me. Not really, it's a few inches. Aye, I heard Lulutsu. So you're Curious Shay. 'Tis a good, strong name. On behalf of the Gladiators Guild, allow me to welcome you. I am Mila, Guildmaster here. So you wish to study our arts? I presume you have reasons for choosing the sword over all other weapons. Perhaps you think it the easiest to learn. A sword is a simple weapon, but to wield a blade is anything but simple. For every Colosseum champion to emerge from our ranks, there have been countless disappointments who failed to achieve greatness. Bear that in mind before you answer me, Kyria, for I do not ask this question lightly. Have you the strength to live by the sword and, if it be your fate, die by it? Yes, I am all about that life. Then welcome, gladiator, to your new home. Let's not waste time, shall we? I would gauge your aptitude for the sword. Just outside the gates of Ul'dah, you'll find plenty of marmots, hornets, and shrews. Slay 3 of each and return here when finished. A simple task, but essential to your training nonetheless. Now go. Okay, lady. If you say so. What do you got me to do? Pick up an order. Infestation of ladybugs. We'll do it. Carried your arse in here looking for work, eh? Well, you're in luck. Just so happens I have a deed what needs doing. Wild ladybugs have been wreaking bloody havoc on the outskirts of town. Something in the air of late's made 'em ordinary as an oryx in the rut. Ain't much for fighting on their own, but in numbers they're more than a match for any merchant who's seen more days at the teat than he has on the battlefield. Well, what'll it be? Fancy putting down 4 or so of the bloody buggers, or don't you? It actually has occurred to me that I might end up under-leveled if I don't do at least most of the quests at the beginning. So, apologies if any of these are boring. Oh. Have you come to wish me luck? I appreciate the thought, but there's no need to worry. What? You don't know who I am? I'm the next biggest thing that's coming to the Coliseum. Zazariku is my name, and you'll be hearing all about my exploits in the coming days. I've even thought of a title for myself. The Garnet Gladiator. Ah, which reminds me. I have yet to collect the circlet I commissioned from the Goldsmiths Guild. You wouldn't mind picking it up for me, would you? Apparently not, you conceited bastard. Let's talk to Genevieve. Ah! What have you done? Your kind has no business to even look at a lady such as I. Such shocking, unbelievable insolence. And now look! Look how my gil is scattered across the ground. Pick it up, right this instant! Lady Genevieve wants you to gather the gil, which you caused her to drop on the ground. Oh my god. What a stupid quest. Okay. Is one of these gonna take, like, forever for no reason? They like to do that. No? Okay. That's good. My gil! Now! And there had better be naught missing! The faint aroma of prosperity can be detected on this freshly minted gil. I'll be reading item descriptions too, actually. Just thought of that. There's some good ones. This appears to be everything. What are you still staring at? Are you expecting some kind of reward? The insolence! She proceeds to give me 102 gil. Oh, we can attune to the mini Aetherite right here in the Gladiators Guild. In fact, I'm gonna run all around town and attune to all the Aetherites real quick. And I'll speed up the footage for you. So, let's go! Alright, so with that taken care of, let's head into the Goldsmiths Guild, which you can now warp to conveniently, and pick up that package for that jerk. Order slip. A small piece of parchment detailing an order for a gaudy circlet. Zazariku's circlet? Just a moment, miss. Oh dear, this is so embarrassing. I'm afraid crafting the circlet to Zazariku's exact specification has proven somewhat difficult. We ran out of garnets halfway through our work, and we're still waiting on the next shipment. I hate to impose, but would you mind to explain the situation to the Crooked Haft at the Miners Guild? My records indicate that he was supposed to deliver the gemstones yesterday. Mayhap it slipped his mind? Okay. And we'll walk, because on the way we make up the quest Decisions. From Bitter Snow. Bitter Snow's eyes are those of a man in love, wrought with worry and doubt. He appears to be waiting for someone who has yet to arrive. What could be keeping her? My beloved Yellow Moon and I promised to meet at this very spot, but 2 bells have passed and I've nary a word from her. Gods, I hope she's alright. As much as I wish to go off and find her, I simply cannot. What if she were to come in my absence? Please would you search for her in my stead? It's possible she's somewhere near the Weaver's Guild. She always enjoyed watching the... By the gods, do you think she's left me for someone more dapper? I try not to look like a bumpkin, but I've no mind for fashion. Okay. Alright. Let's go to the Miners Guild, which is where we pretty much are. Player housing is in that direction. That's actually a thing in this game, and it's pretty big. I don't think we'll be participating in this playthrough, but it's just a thing to know about. I have a mind to drain a pint, so hurry up and speak your business. She wants how many bloody garnets? 7 hells, lass, they don't grow on trees. But more than that, this lad what fancies himself the next Franz the Fair ought to worry less about style and more about swordplay. Any road, I'll do my part to ensure the little bastard gets bedecked in all the goddamn garnets he can afford. And if he dies in his first fight, well, at least he'll leave a pretty corpse. Yay! So we solved that guy's garnet problem. That's really cool of us. Next quest. I guess we'll warp to the Weaver's Guild, find that guy's girlfriend, and pick up a couple of quests in there. I actually do generally like reading the quests anyway. The lore's really good, just kind of all around, even in the fetch quests, for the most part. Almost every NPC in the game has something to say that contributes to the world. Fire got be good, just look at me! This hair, this outfit, they don't match at all! I look atrocious! What was I thinking? Oh, I can't let Bitter Snow see me like this. Maybe that last tunic was best after all. Or no, perhaps the blue? Bitter Snow is waiting for me, but I haven't anything to wear. Athelwine appears vexed by his work at the Weaver's Guild and is in need of a helping hand. Something in a cream? Oh, whatever shall I do? This dress, I just can't seem to finish it. Oh, this design is flawless, absolutely flawless, of that I have no doubt. But I simply cannot settle on a color for the life of me. How would you like to conduct a bit of field research for me? I'm dying to know what color the ladies of Ul'dah are wearing these days, especially on the hustings strip. And when you're finished, please call Lusu at the Alchemist Guild. The woman is a wizard with dyes. Have her cook up whatever color you find is the most popular. Oops, forgot to read that description. If it's work you seek, the Weaver's Guild welcomes you. Indeed, your timing is impeccable. A soiree is to be held with all of Ul'dah's elite in attendance. Once the invites went out, the orders came in, and with that with a fury. Every lord and lady from Cape Deadwind to Cinderfoot is demanding the latest fineries. I need hands, and I need them now, yet I cannot spare the time to go off in search of them. Would you care to aid us, friend? I ask no more than you welcome our doors to any willing souls you might find. Come, let us see how you fare. Show me your warmest welcome. She wants me to emote. I'm gonna emote quietly. Excellent! I dare say I would work for you myself. Now hurry off, we need those people. I'm gonna have the default be that I always emote quietly. We Uldahns have a weakness for fashion. Why, just look at me, I've taken the trouble to match my wrap to my hair. Ravishing, no? Alright, I'm supposed to welcome them. Okay. Welcome! Work at the Weaver's Guild? I'd be lying if I said I weren't interested. To whom might I go to inquire further? The Weavers are recruiting? Finally, my chance to become a famous designer! Oh, calm down there, lady. Alright. Very basic fetch quests, but at least the dialogue's interesting. What? What do you want? I have no time for your shenanigans. You're getting in my bloody way. Now piss off. Lurking Leech. What a name. Weaving work? Take a look at me, friend. I'm a bloody guard, and on duty, no less. Move along now. Welcome to the Weavers Guild, friends. So, the Weavers need help, do they? Sorry, friend. I'm all set for coin. I'm Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg of Domaska! I appreciate the offer, but I must refuse. I'm all thumbs when it comes to stitching and whatnot. The most popular color of late? Well, all the colors have their merits, of course, but if pressed, I'd have to say red. Am I literally just asking a couple of guards? Kind of hilarious, actually. Oh, you're not a guard, you're just some dude. Why, any color is perfectly fine for a dress, you silly thing. So long as it comes off, easily at the end of the night. Yeesh. Alright. Steps of Thal is a bust. Well, they said red, but... Huh. Dodeman, what you got, buddy? What color's in fashion? Well, I must say, I'm just back from Gridania, and I find there's a certain verve to verdant livery. Green, you bloody idiot! Well, you know, you don't have to talk like that. Best color for a dress? Well, you know what they say, once you go black, you never go back. Oh my god, what a stupid joke. Okay. Yellow. What fairer color than that in the name of the fairest maiden? Yellow Moon. Oh, Yellow Moon, how my heart pines for you. Woohoo. What's-his-name has some, competition. What up, Genlins? We're gonna get to know each other pretty well in about 30 levels. There's never a shortage of white dresses on our Ul'dah ladies. Surely it is the most comfortable color to wear under this murderous sun. Well, it is in a desert. Let's see what color Cornell thinks is worth wearing. Personally, I've always had a thing for a motley of red and green overlaid with stripes of purple and dark brown. Yikes. That sounds hideous. He actually literally called it a motley. Not the best combination. Alright, Ruru, what you got? Please be a color that I've already heard before. Red, ever and always! This is Ul'dah, my dear girl, while the sun beats on your back with fiery fists, and the sins of the sands are hot and unforgiving and everywhere, all at once. We Uldahns live for our passions, and our lust for life is surpassed only by our lust for lust. Well, it's an insane answer, but at least it's an agreeing one. Oh hey, it's the Alchemist's Guild. I may as well hit this up while I'm here. I'm gonna go ahead and unfollow the ones that want me to leave town real quick. Because I'll get to those when I get to them. What up, Luku? You are here on behalf of the Weavers Guild, are you not? Yes, Aethel once said you'd be along. Well, what color is it to be, then? It sounds as though you have 2 votes for red, 1 vote for each, 1 vote each for green, yellow, white, and black, 1 abstaining, 1 vote for a motley of red and green overlaid with stripes of purple and dark brown. By no means a resounding victory, but I suppose red it shall be. I have some catalysts I've been saving for just such an occasion. Mark my words, I'm going to concoct the most vibrant red Ul'dah has ever seen. Alchemy may look arcane and esoteric to the uninitiated, but it's grounded in naught but science and experimentation. Indeed, I dare say it does more to advance culture and civilization than nigh any other discipline. Woohoo! Level up! I learned... DPS increase. That's neat. A luxury long lost. Oh, by the way, DPS is damage per second. Self-explanatory. It's combat. Elwyn has need of an adventurer to help him test revolutionary new medicine. Yes! At last, my work is complete! Mark my words, this formula will revolutionize alchemy as we know it. With just a sip of this tonic, even raging fevers would be instantly extinguished. But I must needs test it, adventurer. While I procure more, I bid you take this batch to Pearl Lane, to a man there named Landibert. He is trusted by the other refugees. Persuade this Landibert to take my tonic and give it to his people. I required nothing in exchange. After all, if it truly is effective, it will be a tremendous boon to the advancements of the alchemic arts, and, mankind at large. That's, rather noble of you. You're probably not looking to make an insane amount of money off of that, are you? Okay, so I need to go do that thing to Landibert, but I also need to head back to the Weaver's Guild. I also need to talk to Momodi again. I'm gonna take up the habit of not advancing the main plot while there are still subplots dangling. So those are the two things I need to worry about at the moment. We're already almost done with the quests within the city itself, and then we can actually start adventuring. So, I have mentioned, and I will continue to mention for a little while, the game's story has a very slow start, especially if you're doing side quests. But boy does it ever pick up. You've returned! Well, how did you fare? 2 potential recruits, you say? Welcome news! I only hope their zeal for fashion will show in their efforts for the guild. What we do here may seem all silk and satin, to be sure, but the work within these walls is far from easy. In that, our trade is not unlike any other... Ooh, hiccups. Sorry. Everyone loves Yellow Moon, but Yellow Moon hates her outfit. Okay, we have to go to the Sapphire Avenue Exchange and get Landibert to try this mystery tonic. I'm sure that's healthy. It's so nice that there's a teleport there now. It was added about a year ago. And this was a kind of an inconvenient little section of town to get to before that. Landibert, by the way, is a really cool NPC. Eh? Medicine for the sick. An earthly slang medicine created by budding alchemist Alwyn Ul'dah. We're not fools, lass. We know full well what that bastard Alwyn is up to. But we'll accept his medicine nonetheless. Look at us. Beggars can't be choosers. Might be as it's a mere experiment to him, but to us it's a matter of life and death. If we've got to choose between this bastard swill and nothing but all, is it really a choice? Landibert's cool. He just kind of... He kind of knows what's going on in town. About everything. He always gives the player good advice, which we rarely actually follow. Landibert wishes to offer you a small token of his gratitude. Few come here by choice, and few are still bearing medicine. Your kindness shouldn't go unrewarded. This vase is important to us, but I want you to have it. It's just some old pottery, I know, but it might be valued by collectors of cultural artifacts. There are men who are willing to pay good coin for such objects. If you go to the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, chances are you'll find one of them. Can I help you? All you're going to find here are the poor and the desperate, not the types of interest in adventure looking for coin. Best move along, friend. He'll appear minorly in the story later, but the role he plays is pretty cool. I don't think that's a spoiler. He's a very, very minor character. Welcome, welcome! What might a discerning lady like yourself be looking for today? Permit me to examine this vase of yours. I hope you didn't spend too much coin on this trash. A flood of like items brought in by a refugee has destroyed what demand once existed. The markets are fickle, my friend. If you lose sight of current trends, you stand to lose everything, as I once did. Market wards once bore my name until fate and hubris reduced me to this. For your sake, I pray you do not have to learn this lesson the same way I did. Thanks for the tiny amount of gil, man. Actually, now that I have a decent little bit of gil, do shields count as weapons, or... Yeah, they do. I really want to get a shield for this character, because a gladiator without a shield is really just gimped. Arms, merchant. That's what I want. You got a level 1 shield I can use? Yeah. Yeah, that'll do. Wonderful. It goes straight into there. That's odd. UI settings... No, item settings. Dude, uncheck that. That's crap. Okay. Yeah, I don't want things going straight into here. That sucks. Okay. Not the prettiest to look at, but it'll be helpful to us shortly. You can actually toggle weapons off and on, but I actually prefer to keep them on unless they're clipping really badly with something. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 quests to pick up in this side of town, and then we can head out of town. And I think I'm going to do that on the next episode. So until then, I'm going to leave it off right here. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll be right back.